But do you really have to talk down on other people? If you know that you're insecure about yourself, talk down on yourself. If that makes you feel better, you don't have to talk down on other people just to make yourself feel better. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abiola Kemi Ogunleye, and don't worry, you are in the right channel. This is Let's Get Real with Abiola, where we keep it real, a lifestyle, faith, family, love, femininity, and we do what? We also keep it real here on trends. If you're coming across my beautiful face for the first time, I want to ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? Like, I really want us to cross over from 100 and to 200 and 300, and don't you think so? So we need to actually please support this girl. Subscribe to my channel so that we can, really leave 100 hand this month of June, and then we can start doing 200 hand in July. And also for my existing subscribers, thank you so much. If you're yet to subscribe, please do so right now. Subscribe to my channel. Also turn on your notification bell to get updates on new videos. On today's edition of Let's Get Real, no, I think I should have said, on today's edition of what we've turned into a norm, we are going to be keeping it real on body shaming. In the last video we actually talked about cheating. If you're yet to watch that video, to be in the description box. Today is all about body shaming. And one thing that I realized about people who actually body shame is that they don't necessarily do it because they intentionally want to, and they don't necessarily do it because they don't intentionally want to. Body shaming is the intentional or unintentional act of criticizing, saying awful things about how a person's body look. Like you try and look at somebody from head to toe, and then you tell that person, why do you look this way? Or why you too fat? Why you too thin? Why is your hand like like a chimpanzee hand? Or why is your thighs too thick? Like, you just like criticize people, like look at them finish and just tell them that they don't look good enough, they don't have good features. Now let's talk about the causes of body shaming. Why do you think people actually body shame others? Now the thing about body shaming is people could body shame you for various reasons. So if you've been wondering, why does this person always try to talk my body down? Trust me, it's as much as there is no justifiable excuse as to why they do that, as well, we need to not neglect the fact that people try to there are so many reasons why people would want to body shame you, and one of it is insecurity. They are simply insecure about the way they look. They know something is wrong. They feel something is wrong about their own body. Like maybe they know that, okay, maybe they feel that they are not good enough, they don't have good body. So the best way they get better, the best way they feel better, is to actually talk other people down, tell them you look fat, you look thin, and they just find solace in doing that. Then number two reasons why people actually body shame is because of societal norms. Certain places you live actually have a way to influence you. So you could live in an area, in an environment where people could easily like say, oh, your head is too big, or oh, your hand, like look at your hand, look at your head, look at your leg. They don't mean any offense. It's part of the normal things they do, of which it is not supposed to be, right? But it's something that has become a custom. They've got accustomed to talking about the way people look and trying to make it seem as if it is supposed to be okay. And they forget the fact that there are different people in the society. So the fact that this thing is normal in the society does not mean everyone born in that society would all of a sudden grow into accepting it as a normal thing. Another reason why people body shame is because of lack of awareness. They don't really know. They lack the awareness that, okay, they're doing something wrong. They don't really know that, okay, the way they said it, they ought not to say it that way, or that you would be offended at the way they said it. Another reason why people actually body shame is because of because of love. Because they feel like they are actually doing something good, by telling you that, okay, you're too fat. They just want you to to be conscious of yourself. And they say it, but they don't know that they are being offensive the way they are saying it, even though they meant well. These people could be your friends, it could be your parents, it could be your siblings, it could be anyone close to you, it could even be someone that actually likes you genuinely. But they just want to let you know that, okay, as much as you have this body, you should also be conscious of the way you should also be conscious, right? You should also be conscious of your body. Like, don't just they just mean something good, they just mean well. But of course, nothing, no reason is justifiable enough to actually talk people down. No reason why people body shame is immaturity. They are simply immature. They don't really care about whether or not they are saying something offensive. They just want to pass a message across. In fact, it is not even a message. They just want to talk. Like, they say, oh yes, I'm blonde. This is lack of immaturity. They just say things and then they expect that the world is supposed to move on and you're supposed to be okay with it. Now, thirdly, the people who actually body shame could even be your spouse. I mean, someone that said, oh, when I got married to you, you were so slim, you were figure eight. Now you're just looking like a bag of beans. You don't have shape. You're so shapeless. Hold on, Sonny. If you like, it's so sweet to say, what about you? Like, even if you're doing to talk down at your wife, you're not even supposed to talk down at anybody. Like, even whoever it is, a wife should not talk down on her husband. A husband should not talk down on his wife. Even if you're in a relationship, I can't even imagine being in a relationship with someone and you have the guts. I mean, I'm not even married yet. You have the guts to talk down at me, at the way I look, or talk down on anyone else because of the way they look. No, I'm not going to take that. Like, I feel like people need to be careful with their choice of words. Some people, some women have given birth, and it changed their body. Some people are going through a lot of things. Some people have health issues. That is why they look at the way they look. And if you see that, if you try to criticize the way they look that way, they become offensive. They are like, they even slip into depression. Like, God, why did you create me this way? Why do you have to let these people have the right to say all these things to me? You should not be careful with the way you talk down at people, with the way you even talk to people generally. Don't even talk down at people. Talk to people generally. Be careful, be considerate with your words. Now, we've settled the causes of body shaming, but the fact that there are these reasons why people could body shame you, does that make it okay? Now, it doesn't, because when you body shame people, it could lead to other things. They can suffer so many emotional breakdown, like depression. So people get depressed because somebody said a particular thing about their body. Like, they could hear a comment like, you're too fat, you're too thin, and then they get this conscious. They get this they are just, they become conscious of their body, and because they become conscious, it can lead them to being depressed, thinking that, okay, they're not good enough, they're not lovable, and then they become anxious around other people. When they dress, they're wondering, okay, is my tummy showing, is my chest protruding, is my hand looking like an elephant hand, or they just become all of a sudden conscious about those things. And also, it could also lead to them feeling bodily conscious. They just want to start cutting down on the food they eat, exercising, doing things to actually get them back on fit, even if it's not healthy. As much as they're trying to cut back on food, cut back on calories, cut back on whatever it is they're trying to, or increase their food intake just to get fat, or cut back their calorie just to get thin. However way they are doing it, if it is not done in the right way, then it shows that they're actually being influenced by what they've heard, and is affecting their day-to-day life. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, why would you want to body shame people? With all of the things that I've said the causes of body shaming. And I've also mentioned what that could result. Do you really want to say something and then the person is depressed? Do you want to say something and then someone feels like, okay, they're not lovable, the way they look is, I mean, you could, yeah, even someone you actually trusted saying some certain things to you, like, don't you think you're just eating, your cheek is big, your hand is, you're not just so disgusting. I mean, you could say it's like that and you're like, you too. Like, why would you do that? Like, as much as you want to correct people, you want to make you have good intentions for them, you want them to feel confident in their skin, and you feel like the way they can feel confident in their skin is losing weight or gaining weight. But you don't have to say it in such a way that humanizes them. You don't have to say it in such a way that they lose their self-esteem. And if you know that you have issues controlling your words, you don't, I mean, just talk down on yourself. Do you have to talk it down on other people? Do you have to talk down on, okay, I think I'm getting too violent here, but do you really have to talk down on other people? If you know that you're insecure about yourself, talk down on yourself. If that makes you feel better, you don't have to talk down on other people just to make yourself feel better. So I feel like everyone needs to have a positive energy. You have to love yourself. If you love yourself, you'll see yourself in a positive light. And if you do, and even if you don't see yourself in a positive light, it doesn't give you the leverage to talk down on other people. You have to respect people, respect the way they look. And if you want to correct people, correct it with love. I mean, you could, I mean, those people who actually correct you, they could even be it could even be the hospital you went to for checkup. It could be any basic, it could be anyone, but they just want to point out a certain part of you, and they don't know that the way they are doing it is not supposed to be. If you love someone, simply correct them with love. I mean, you've taken it as a normal thing. Some people have even come to the place of, oh, like, what are we going to hear again? What do you want to say? Do you want to say that I'm too fat? You want to say I'm too thin? I love myself that way. Some people become defensive because they know that people, and when you see them, you always want to talk about how bad they look or how bad their body looks. You just want to body shame them. So they become offensive. Do we really have to do that to other people, make them offensive, make them not confident around us, make them feel like, okay, they have a baggage, make them feel unlovable, and all of those things? So I just want to tell you that try to treat people with love, try to treat people with respect, and always be careful and always be considerate with your words. I believe you have an understanding on all we discussed on today's edition of Let's Get Real. Till I come your way next time on another edition on things we've made into numb. Stay enlightened, stay real, stay positive. Bye bye.